Hey everyone, how is it going? Joe is back here again. And today, we are covering two NHL games of the second round. And you might be like, oh boy, here it comes. No. I could tell you that the Bruins lost 6-1 last night. I could tell you that five players got ejected. I could tell you that we allowed a couple power play goals. I could tell you a lot of things. I could tell you we pulled Swayman because he allowed four, but I'm going to tell you this. The series is tied 1-1 going back to Boston. Oh, he's not upset. He's hopeful. Yeah. I didn't think we would get one on the road here, but here we are. Obviously, this is exactly what happened the last two series with Toronto and Florida. Win game one, lose game two. Bruins are allergic to losing game twos, all right? And the Celtics did it to the Heat as well. So if we lose game two tonight to the Cavs, then it is just a Boston thing, and we suck at game two. Oof, I don't know what's going on, but allow me to tell you what happened in this game. So the Panthers come out swinging, as we all knew they would. We had to hold them off, and Swayman entered knowing that. Almost immediately, he makes a giant power play save on Verhage, kicked out right in front of the net. Our power play was doing as good as it was because I'm sorry, the penalty kill. Our penalty kill was doing as good as it was because we were playing the bum ass Leafs. Sheldon Keefe is fired. I jumped the gun. I wanted to throw that in somewhere. I totally jumped the gun. But also because Swayman's been so good. So has our penalty kill been good? Yes. Has it been excellent? No. Has it been 95% worthy? No. Swayman has. So another great save from Swayman. Bruins get a power play. Marchand misses an empty net. It's a tough angle, but if there's anyone who can get a tough angle, that's Marchand. And that's why he's here, and he did not do it. So, should we blame him? Yeah. If it was pretty much anyone else on the team, it's like, but Marchand, you had an empty net. You should have got that. He makes up for it with a great hit on Kachuk back in our end. I think you all, if you watch the game, know what I'm talking about. Probably very easily forgotten given how the rest of the game went in terms of physicality, but great hit on Kachuk, and what a guy to hit. Um, there was one point where a puck went above Swayman. It was bad. It was gonna go back off his back and into the net of a defenseman for us. I don't even think it was actually. I think it might have just. I don't know what happened. I have no idea what happened. We had three defensemen in the first period go to the locker room, starting with glass ass Forbert, then Wotherspoon, then McAvoy. They all did end up coming back, but that was scary for a bit. Just imagine. But and then they mentioned it was so funny. We were killing a penalty, and because when aren't we? And we were killing a penalty. Carlo's in the box, McAvoy's in the locker room, and the announcer was like, it was very. It was very telling of Jim Montgomery that he trusts his young defensemen like Wotherspoon and Lori out here. Who the hell else are you gonna play? You're too. You get it. But anyways, talk about that Bruins goal, huh? The only goal we scored, one of the most beautiful goals I've seen in a while. Marchand, Mikkola pat dives, right? If Marchand trips over him, that's a power play. But instead, he passes the puck under Mikkola while jumping over Mikkola to Zaka, who should have shot it, but passes it to Coyle, and Coyle scores. So I think the Bruins need to get into a more of a shot mentality. Zaka is very, I don't want to say lucky that the play worked out, but very nice for him that the play worked out because he did not shoot that puck. He passed it to Coyle. Coyle pots it. 1-0 Bruins. Marchand, but especially Zaka, Coyle, these are guys we wanted to see wake up. I'm very, very happy that the one goal that we did get, these guys were on top of it. These were the guys that got it, and hopefully they can carry that into game three back in Boston because Coyle is a guy we're going to need to show up if we want to win this series. He is a very good playoff performer with a bad postseason so far. So we'll see how that goes. Zaka kept playing well for us. There was a point where he and Brazo were on a 2-on-1. He had a great pass to Brazo, open in the slot. Brazo shoots, save from Bobrovsky, and then Zaka gets a couple more chances. He does not give up that puck easy. It was great. Zaka had himself a first period. It was wonderful. We go into the intermission, 1-0. I'm pretty sure. Yes, yes, yes. um, But then Lawrence gets a tip home from Montour. This was a beautiful, beautiful tip from Florida's bottom line. The bottom line from Florida was very, very good this game, as well as the Barkov line. But Lawrence is able to tip a Montour shot. It is 1-0, or I'm sorry, 1-1, tied up. And then shortly after that, not shortly actually, I feel like maybe like good 7 to 10 minutes pass. Reinhardt gets a shot on Swayman. Swayman makes the initial save. Barkov is in tight. He scores. Glad to see Barkov get on the score sheet in terms of who is scoring against us. Um, but that was the Panthers' first lead of the series. Swayman looked like he might have been arguing a little bit. Maybe he thought there was some contact, but I didn't. Maybe his stick, but I didn't think it was enough to overturn. And if that is what happened, then Montgomery agreed, and the play continued. And then on the power play, Coyle came so close again. It was all but Bobrovsky on this save, passing from Marchand and Pastrnak right near the net. Coyle in the slot, Bobrovsky's right there. Coyle is a smart enough player to find a hole, and I am sure Bobrovsky clogged up that hole on that shot. He did not just shoot it into him. Great save, Bobrovsky. Um, then with mere seconds left in the period, Barkov comes in and gets it in front for so he goes around the net. He gets it in front for Reinhardt and Tarasenko. Both those guys get a shot off. Swayman saves them both, holds the puck, and then like 7 seconds left in the period, offensive face off of the Panthers, and Forsling gets it in. He gets it in from the blue line with 0.3 seconds remaining, and this is where the McAvoy hate starts. McAvoy, he didn't have a great game. He hasn't had a great postseason. People are saying demote him to the AHL. This is the only play where I say demote him to the AHL. He is fully screening Sway, because I think for the second goal, if I recall, McAvoy was out there without a stick. Can't really blame him in that situation, right? But McAvoy is fully screening Swayman. He can't see shit. No one else is near him. It's not like he's covering anybody. He's just screening Swayman. Like, he looks like if you put a different color sweater on him, you compliment him for that screen, right? It's like good job. Yeah, you helped Forsling score that. So that was a really bad play from McAvoy. Um, this was a regular season struggle for the Bruins. They always suck at the last minute of play, allowing a goal in. That really hasn't reciprocated into the playoffs. In fact, we scored a couple last second goals ourselves. But you gotta comment on it. So do I see it being a recurring issue? Hopefully not. But it was during the regular season, so I'm not shocked by it. And then Swayman allows another goal. So we go into the intermission. We're down 3-1. I don't remember the last time we've been down going into an intermission. It's been quite a bit, if I recall, especially down 2 and going into an intermission. That might not have happened all playoffs with how good Swayman has been, especially in the first couple periods. I don't think we've been down 2 going into an intermission. So we come out, we play all right. We don't play with the full force, but then we completely give up when they. It was a great pass. Crap. I stopped right. I stopped watching the game honestly. I did have it on the corner, so I did see what we're about to talk about. But I just gotta refresh myself on which players got this goal here. Oh, that's right. It was so Barkov again passes his 5th assist, by the way, a guy who's been notably quiet. 5th assist of the postseason. Gets it to Luostarinen right in front of the net. He scores. And they put in Olmark, and this is perfect for us, in my opinion, because it's like, all right, because you can see Montgomery talking to Swayman on the bench, and Barkham's like, hey, like blah 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 blah, and Swayman's like very reciprocative of it. I don't know the word there, but it was a good conversation between them, and Swayman's like, yeah, no, I agree. Omar goes out there, bang up his confidence. No, he gives up 2 goals on 10 shots. So horrible for Omar. Let's talk about. So we're gonna get into the penalties, but 3 shots in the third from Bruins. 3. That's not how you respond. 6, 6, and 3. That's a total of 15 shots. 15 to 33, right? 33 to 15 shots. The entire postseason. The entire postseason, this has been an issue. Our highest shooter was Brandon Carlo with friggin' 3 shots. And our highest shooter is Carlo. If Carlo was the shooter, JFK would still be alive, okay? Carlo is not getting goals 24/7. He had some dad strength last game. I can tell you one positive thing our defense did this game. Low Rye don't remember any. Carlo can't remember any. Lindholm, Forbert, Wotherspoon, McAvoy. I don't know. I really don't know. Wotherspoon had a good shot block, if I recall. Horrible games all around for those guys. I don't think there was any. I think our best player was honestly Pavel Zacha with the assist on the Coil goal and some really good chances in the first. After the first though, we played 20 minutes of hockey. Usually we play 40 minutes of hockey. If we don't play a full game, we played 20 tonight. It was really, really bad. Reinhardt had 4 assists, 2 goals and 2 assists for Barkov. So good for Barkov to get a couple there. Obviously, not as good as we thought he was going to be. Him and Ekblad, but you know. Oh, by the way, those last 2 goals were scored by Montour and Barkov. But let's see. So wait, did Montour have 2? No, because Forsling got that one. That's right. Montour got it after that whole shorthanded. Oh, I remember that shorthanded goal. Okay, I do remember watching that. Yeah, you see how little I really. Um, a goal and 2 assists for Montour. That's what it was. Pasternak with 0 shots in 1 shot attempt. This is not going to get it done. That's very, very frustrating from someone like Pasternak. He had a good first game. He had a good first game. Obviously, he had a good game 7. But another rough one for him, which was 1 through 6 of the Toronto series. So hopefully it's just a one and done for him, seeing how we did have 2 consecutive games of him playing some good hockey before this. Verhaeghe had 5 shots. Barkov had 4. Coyle, Freddie, Brazeau had 6 hits. All defensemen had at least 3. So there you go, I guess. But let's talk about this. I want to really quickly talk about the Canucks. I'm going to bring it back into the Bruins. The Canucks, who were also down 4-1 tonight and came back to win, it's because they kept playing. The Canucks were down 4-2 going into the third, 4-1 at one point in the second. They only allowed 3 shots from the Oilers, I'm pretty sure. Maybe 5. I forget. They only allowed a few shots from the Oilers. We'll get more into that. I do have it written down here. But that's how you play. We completely seem to have given up after that wind out of our sails moment when Luostarinen got that goal early in the third. Like, we came out all right. Like, we'll see if one goes in here. We go down 3 in the game, and then all of a sudden we give up. That's the negative. The positive is the negative is we did not respond with our gameplay. The positive is we responded with our fists. Huge brawls. This looks like some Bruins Montreal shit. This looks like some Bruins Leafs shit. I'm talking Frederick, Brazeau, Maroon, Marchand, and McAvoy all got ejected. Reinhardt, Cousins, Luostarinen, Kulikov, and Mikula also all got ejected. It was fun to watch. There was one moment where Montour went to Marchand and goes, "You gonna lick me?" And I mean, come on, I'm only human. That's hilarious. That's really funny. Um, Obviously, Marchand has a history, particularly in their state of Florida, licking people. Um, and then there's no one in terms of enforcers really left on the bench. That whole bottom line, other than Beecher, is gone for the Bruins and Frederick. Marchand, McAvoy isn't really an enforcer, but he's gone. The only one left is Kachuk for the Panthers, and guess who said, "I want to take care of that guy." Pasternak goes to Montgomery and asks him permission. Can I fight? Can I fight Kachuk? And Monty goes, "You want to?" That sounds that. It's so funny. And then you see Kachuk go out on the ice like for his shift. Pasternak just jumps over the board. I don't even know if anyone came on for him. And they just pound each other. What was I gonna say? Kachuk gets the best, gets Pasternak down, throws one while Pasternak's down. Pasternak gets up while the refs are in there and starts wailing on Kachuk. These guys hate each other. We responded. I like this. This is a good thing from the this is like Big Bad Bruins. This is like Big Bad Bruins. So that was entertaining. That was awesome. Obviously at this point the night was over, like six players, six of our best players, six of their best players out because we didn't have Marchand, we didn't have Pasternak, we didn't have McAvoy as struggling as McAvoy's been. Um, they didn't have Tkachuk, they didn't have Mikula, Reinhardt. So this game, was pretty much. And we had Olmark in net. So good game from Bobrovsky, good game from most of Florida. Even Ekblad had kind of a bounce back game. Nothing really to brag about from Ekblad, but solid. We expect more than solid from Ekblad, but compared to his last game, we're glad about that if we're a Panthers fan. But yeah, the series is tied going back to Boston. I personally think the momentum is entirely in Florida's favor. However, we slowed it down a bit with those fights. So good job to the boys. It'll be interesting to see where it goes from here. It is a tied series, so it could go either way. It could be a gentleman's sweep for either team at this point. Um, Based on Bruins history, we'll win these two and then lose the two after. I think we're actually going to lose the two at home because we don't play well at home compared to on the road. We're better on the road. We love the hate as much as last night we were sucked. I think we're honestly going to lose the next two and then win game 5 on the road and then lose it in 6. That's what I think. But I'm also a pessimistic Bruins fan, so we'll see how it goes. It's an entertaining series. That was a very entertaining game in terms of physicality and the fighting and shit. Obviously not a close contest though. But yeah. So that was a fun one to cover. I'm sure everyone has their numbers taken down, and the rest of the series won't be as physical as that. But I'll tell you what, we hate each other, and there's gonna be some people going at it. That made up for literally no fights in any of the other series, practically. So good on you, Florida and Boston, for doing that. Let's go into the Oilers Canucks game. So we start with no Adam Henrique. Connor Brown's in for him, a lingering injury. I didn't even know he had this. Obviously, he's been nursing it for a little bit since they've had a friggin' week-long break. But yeah, no Adam Henrique. Connor Brown's in for him. Obviously, the best Connor on that team, Connor Brown. And the Oilers power play gets off almost immediately. Nugent Hopkins across the ice to the backboard. That is Zach Hyman. No, I'm just kidding. He was actually pretty far out. It was a one-timer from Hyman, and he does get it. Well, not even a one-time, just kind of, how Hyman scores. He gets it in. She Loves gives one up really, really early. Garland a few minutes later gets a breakaway, doesn't get it high. So I was mad at Garland when I saw this. I'm like, why don't you fuckers ever elevate your puck? He did elevate the puck. Skinner got it with his glove, not his pad. So didn't elevate it enough, didn't wait long enough to shoot it. But Garland, he'll be back. He'll be back. Anyways, Vander Kane in the offensive zone turns it over to Ian Cole, who has a awful turnover. He goes off the boards and it goes right to Draisaitl. Definitely not a guy you want to give it to. He actually, however, does not shoot it. He hammers it back for Ekholm, and Ekholm scores the goal from the point or from the blue line. So 2-0. Ilya Mikheyev had a great game. He seemed to be everywhere. He was in close off of Skinner's skate. He was right there, and Skinner caught it with the skate. Joshua is able to actually get a goal here. He finds a rebound from an Ian Cole shot and scores it pretty much right where Mikheyev was, just on the other side of the ice. So 2-1 for Edmonton leading. Joshua on the board again. He just loves his game ones, just like the Bruins do, clearly. But what was I gonna say? Mikheyev again with another close call. He tries to stuff it in with a backhander, 5-hole on Skinner. No prevail. Skinner covers that up. Cody Ceci however answers and hammers it in from the blue line. He had a wide open lane. So 3-1, where we're talking two defenseman goals here from Edmonton. Something you really want to see. Like I said, depth scoring has always been the issue for Edmonton. Not only are you getting depth scoring now, you're also getting defenseman scoring. So good for them. However, we'll continue to talk. Um, Zach Hyman shows off his slick puck dribbling skills for his second goal. There was not much Myers could do. He was skating in. Myers stayed up with him. He didn't pull a Hiskinen from last night or whenever the hell that was. He did not pull a Hiskinen. It is now 4-1 for the Oilers, and the problem here. Hold on. The problem here is not the Canucks. The problem here is Artur Silovs, as much as it pains me to say, because we love Artur Silovs, but they're out shooting the Oilers, not by much. It's like 15-14, but I mean Skinner's doing his job with 14 saves, and Silovs is not with 10 saves out of 14. So I felt for the I felt for the Canucks at this point. They were outplaying them, out shooting them, and that's hard to do against Edmonton. They gave up. I forget if I know the first goal was a power play goal. Let me double check if the second one was. No, all the other goals in the game are even. Okay, but yeah. However, yeah, I will say this. They were able to get one before the period ended, so 4-2. Lindholm loves it behind the net, doesn't he? He was behind the net again. We remember that. I think it was the overtime goal for Garland. He was behind the net, or no, Garland was behind the net, and Lindholm. Either way, behind the net, Lindholm, Garland, they left it back there. Lindholm gets it in front. It actually ends up going off the Oilers. He was looking for a Canuck in front, but it goes off the Oilers. Skinner probably didn't expect his own guy to put it in, so not really too much blame here on Stuart Skinner. 4-2 for the Oilers. And then the third period begins. Some time passes, and Brock Besser, well, I don't know if he was shooting it for Miller or if it was a pass, but Miller redeflects it into the net. I don't think Skinner expected that to come that quickly. He should have, but he didn't. JT Miller is on the board. It was an interesting shot. It was definitely an interesting play. It is 4-3, and then the Canucks with 6:14 to go in the game, down 4-3. Possess the puck again. They're providing pressure. They pressured the hell out of the Oilers. Like I said, only 3 or 5 or some BS Oiler shots after the 4-1 lead. Bluger gets it back to Zadorov. One-timer score. Zud score. I don't know. I'm trying to Orlov this one, but continues proving his worth. Continues proving me wrong. Zadorov was the guy to get. He ties this game up with 6:14 to go, and they're announcing his goal as he clears the zone to Dakota Joshua, who does a slick little pass for Connor Garland, who's coming in, fakes the slap shot, then 5-hole. Goal. Canucks are leading the game. That's how you do it. Boston needs to watch this game from beginning to end and take notes. No, you know what they need to do? They need to watch from when the Canucks were down 4-1, because the Canucks played perfectly from this point forwards, allowing nothing for Edmonton and getting their shots in. The Oilers did a great job with an empty net of keeping the puck in the zone and hammering. However, a very lackluster night in terms of shot blocks for the Canucks, but damn, were they blocking all kinds of shots to keep it from Shilovs, and the Canucks win. So some quick stats here for you. Holloway, 7 hits. The entire defense for the Oilers totaled 4. So if you're looking for physicality, just go watch the Bruins-Panthers game, because this was not it, except for Dylan Holloway. Elias Lindholm had 5 shots. Zadorov had 3. Obviously, one of each of those went in. Dakota Joshua, 8 hits. Lindholm and Pedersen, 5. Oh my God, I mentioned Elias Pedersen. Pedersen, you still need to be better. You suck right now, and it is so much more evident than it was in the Predator series because guess what? You can't even blame bad matchup now. You're doing nothing. You had like hardly any chances. What are you doing out there, Elias Pettersson? You need to be better if you want to go for the cup because God knows the Oilers are going to come up pissed. Draisaitl before this series was like, I'm sick of people asking, are we going to ever be able to beat the Canucks because they swept the season series? This is different. So far, it's not, and the Oilers are not going to like that. This is exactly what happened with both of the Bruins series so far. We swept the season series against the Leafs. We swept the season series against the Panthers. We won game 1 and lost game 2. So we started 5-0 against them and then ended up 5-1. I imagine we'll see a very similar thing in Vancouver. I don't think the Oilers are letting that happen again. Yeah, okay, so here it is. Vancouver limits Edmonton total to 18 shots, 4 in the third. Unbelievable. And you want to know what's more unbelievable is I was right. This was the first game in McDavid's career that he had no playoff game that he had no shots on goal. He needs to stop passing. He needs to, because here's the thing. It's he's trying to expand his friggin' his wheel, right? He's trying to be like, I can do more than just shoot it. And that's fantastic. That's fine. But you're forcing it at this point. If you want to force it during the regular season to try to get better at it for the playoffs, sure. But this is where you take all your skills and do what you need to do to win. This is not you trying to create some new skill set for yourself. You had 82 games during the season to do that. Now is the playoffs. Now is when you do what you need to do to win. And McDavid, you need to stop passing it. You need to take some shots here because that is absolutely ridiculous that one of the best players, if not the best player in the world right now, is getting 0 shots on goal. So, yeah, Pastrnak and McDavid held to 0 shots tonight. That's insane. I wonder if someone made money off of that. I would have bet on McDavid. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't have bet 0. That's crazy. But yep, we see another issue again here with Stuart Skinner. So last series, near the end of last series, it seemed like the Oilers had figured out their goaltending situation and they needed to figure out their depth and their defense. This game, it seems like they figured out their depth and their defense because Ekholm and Ceci scored and not their goaltending. So it's still 3 areas that are very, very hit or miss for the Oilers. Skinner needs to be better. Skinner is never gonna the Oilers are never going to beat the mid goalie allegations, it would appear. Skinner is, I think, their best chance to do so in quite a bit. But as of right now, but is proving everyone. He needs a strong game too. If anyone needs a strong game too, it is Stuart Skinner or Elias Pettersson. But, because Skinner's team is down, I'm going to go with him. And I just need to see some shots from McDavid. I think that the Oilers, this was a fantastic meltdown. It was awful. Um, I think that they need to be better. I think that they can be better. I think that they have a great chance of still winning this series. I think although this meltdown, because it was all late in the game, was worse than the Dallas meltdown, that they have a better chance to come back from this than Dallas. Maybe it's just because the opposition is the Canucks versus, the Avalanche. But I don't know. I just have a lot of confidence in the Oilers to get it done. But that all starts with Stuart Skinner. It all starts with Skinner and making sure that he knows what he's doing and has a tight game. Whether or not you win or lose that game, obviously you definitely want to win. Don't want to go down 2-0. I think the Oilers can handle things at home in terms of winning both of them. I'm not saying they will. We got to see how these other games go, but I think they have the capability. So I just need a strong performance from Skinner to feel confident. If it's a barn burner, if the Oilers win 7-6, that would say less to me than the Oilers losing 2-1. All right, they need Skinner to have a good game. But I think that wraps up what I wanted to say. So thank you guys for watching. Tonight we have game 3, Canes and Rangers. Huge game. Kuznetsov is back in. Kochetkov is in for Frederik Andersen. I'm not sure any lineup changes to the Rangers. I'm watching Rempe. I hope they stop playing Rempe because I have no problem with the Rangers winning the cup if Rempe doesn't play. But This is a must win for Carolina. It absolutely is. We'll see how they play. And then the other game on tonight is the Avs Dallas game two. Another must win. Dallas cannot lose this game. We will have a very early idea of who's advancing tonight if the Rangers and the Avalanche win. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.